Hello everybody and welcome to this video, which is actually a live stream today here on Twitch, where I'm going to be playing the brand new Lone Oak Farm map that was released yesterday on the Giants Mod Hub by Oxygen David, who has done the convert from the FS17 version, which was originally made by Bullet Bill, but obviously Bullet Bill does not do any mods for FS19. He's left the modding scene for Farming Simulator for whatever drama reasons he has for that, and instead Oxygen David has taken over as far as porting and converting some of his maps to FS19, and this was a fairly popular one back on FS17, Lone Oak Farm. I never played it because I'd long stopped playing FS17 before this map came out. I didn't actually play Farm Sim 17 for all that long, which is why I never played Seasons in FS17 either. So I'm quite happy to go and play some of these maps in FS19 once they've been converted over and tweaked and adjusted and made all fancy looking, and see just what differences they are, and whether or not they're maps that I can play on for a long period of time, or whether there's things about the maps that I'm not going to like. So here we are, and it's obviously Lone Oak is a American-based map. I believe it's set in the Oregon area. Oh look, we've got a dog. Hello dog. We start with a dog. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It's starting with a dog. Oh, the dog though is very disobedient. Doesn't listen to you. Runs off all over the place. Suppose we best give it some food though, haven't we? Give it some chicken chunks. The moist chicken chunks. That's what I feed my dog, and it looks very similar to that. Hello. Pet the dog. Pet the dog. Oh, he's ate all the food already. Why, you greedy little dog. Yeah, have some more. So yeah, here we are. Oh, we've got basketball hoop, look, so we can play some basketball. House. Garages with obviously opening doors, very useful for storing your pickup truck and stuff inside. If you're the kind of person that keeps a pickup truck on your maps and your mods, I generally don't keep the pickup truck, so that'll probably get sold eventually. We do start with a chicken pen, which is very nice. Built into the map. It's not replaceable, you cannot sell it, nor can you buy it in the store menu. It also doesn't appear to support Animal Pen Extended. I don't see a place to put water on there. Over here we have, I believe it's the cow pen. I will need to turn on some icons and stuff though. Normally I turn off the building icons because maps generally tend to get very cluttered with them when you start putting down lots of placeables. But I kind of need it to know what each of these things are the first time I come on the map. So this is the cow pen, which appears at the starting farm. And again, a quick run round of the cow pen doesn't seem to reveal to me any of the what there should be a little blue valve and a little blue pipe with the Animal Pen extension mod that you can then move and place at the water trigger for the cow pen. However, I am not seeing that valve and pen spawn here on this map. I'm not seeing it on this map. Now, whether that's because I've just loaded into the map and I need to save and exit the game and reload it for the Animal Pen Extended mod to kick in, I don't know. All I know is on Fenton Forest, in my Let's Play series I'm doing on that map, when I loaded into game with the mod activated, I got little blue pipes that I had to move and position at each of the animal pens. And it didn't matter if the pens hadn't got animals in, I still got the pipe. So I would expect to have had pipes appear. Maybe this map doesn't support Animal Pen Extension. Or maybe the new updated Animal Pen Extension mod doesn't support this map. I've read somewhere on the Giants forums that Oxygen David's maps do have some issues with that mod because of how he does the animal pens and stuff. The fact that they're not placeables, they're built into the maps, might be the thing that throws the old spanner into Animal Pen extension. I think the pens need to be placeables for it to hook into them and work. Quick run around the outside. Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing any blue pipes anywhere. I was going to get them placed first, out the way, done and dusted, right at the start of the save, before I moved on and start doing the actual farming work and stuff. Getting into this whole let's play streamy thing. I am going to be doing this single player save on Twitch. I'm going to be live streaming it on Twitch. And then obviously the videos will get exported once I've finished to the YouTube channel. That is why the on-screen HUD and everything is all very minimal for a Twitch stream. There is no on-screen chat. I can still see the chat on my iPad, so anybody watching the stream, talking to me throughout the stream, I will be obviously interacting and responding with. You just won't see any of that on the screen because I don't really want to clutter the screen up with too much stuff. I've just obviously got my header, banner and logo on there just so people know it's me when I'm live streaming. So the whole entire series on this map is going to be done via live stream here on Twitch. I'm also tempted and thinking of switching my Fenton Forest Let's Play series over to Twitch as well. The reason for that being there's just literally not enough hours in the day to play everything, record everything, edit everything, render everything and upload everything to the YouTube channel. Especially as I'm obviously trying to play multiplayer as well, spending my evenings on the multiplayer server with Helgi. It makes recording videos during the day, I wouldn't say hard work, but certainly if I'm playing Farming Sim during the day, I don't want to then play it in the evenings as well. It gets a bit repetitive and boring. So at least if I'm streaming, and then once I've finished streaming, I offload the video, export the video to YouTube. People still get to watch and follow along with the series, and I only have to interact with the video once. Play and stream it. I don't have to edit it. I don't have to render it. I don't have to upload it. It could save me a lot of time, and hopefully it will allow me to play different games, which will allow me to record different games and then edit, render and upload different games. So that's one of the things I'm going to be maybe looking at doing. Also, this commentary is being recorded post-stream because for some reason when I was actually live streaming, my microphone audio was not being captured and recorded. In fact, my microphone wasn't even working within Windows. I've had to unplug it and replug it in to get it working. But of course, I streamed for 4 hours, over 4 hours, and not one single person who viewed the stream or watched any of the stream actually bothered to comment and say, we can't hear you. Which would have been a great help, because then I could have probably fixed my microphone earlier on in the recording process. But alas, that's how it goes, unfortunately. Sometimes you stream and you get people watching your stream and chatting and participating and asking questions and stuff like that. And then other days you get streams where you're streaming and people just kind of lurk. They just kind of drop in for a minute or two, watch a few minutes and drop out and never say anything. So you don't actually know if there's anybody there watching. And you don't actually know if there's a problem with the stream. Because even though I'm watching the stream on my iPad, I'm not listening to the stream. I can't hear the stream audio. Because obviously if I have the sound on my iPad, it gets picked up by my microphone, which then gets rebroadcast over the onto the stream, which then causes like this echo, weird, constant sound bug thing. So I always have to make sure the TV volume is turned right down when I'm streaming, and also the iPad volume is turned right down when I'm streaming. And because of that, if there is any audio issues, the only time I get to be made aware of it is if someone tells me. And of course, if people in the chat are just sitting there, you know, on their hands, you know, or if they've been handcuffed, you know, if they're sat there handcuffed and unable to type, then I don't get to know. However, once I finished the stream and Twitch had finished doing what Twitch does to the stream, I did highlight the stream on Twitch, and then after I'd done a highlight on Twitch, I've been able to download that video to my PC, which means I'm now sat in Sony Vegas, or sorry, not Sony Vegas, it's Magic's Vegas now, isn't it? Basically recording the commentary again, which means I've got to sit here for 4 hours and talk and try and entertain you and talk about things as if I was streaming it live again. And to be honest, I can't actually remember what I talked about. At least that's where, I'll make a note, that's where the plough did live next to that silage bunker. Because after I finished ploughing, later on in the video, in about 4 hours time, I wasn't too sure where to put it back, so I could just kind of dumped it next to the silo bunker, but I was fairly confident that that's where it came from. So for people who say, oh, you haven't put the machine back, I actually have put the machine back, so that's where it lived. Now obviously we get a little bit of equipment to start out with. This save was created in new farmer mode, and it is on easy difficulty, and I'm going to be playing with seasons, and I'm going to be playing 3-day seasons only, just to keep things rolling along at a, you know, terrific rate of knots and a high pace. But there are a few things I do need to address. Obviously we've got quite good prices there. Silage seems to be pretty decent on this map. Grass and hay and stuff like that. It still annoys me that Seasons doesn't show you the prices for hay and straw, even for bales, so you know where to sell, who's offering the best price for those. And then we've got all the additional, obviously, stuff that we can sell on a map. Now, this isn't part of the actual Lone Oak map download from the mod hub. I've downloaded the map from the mod hub. I've then opened the map up in, you know, with 7-zip, and I've actually added a custom fill types and fruit types XML from another map that I play, so that I actually get all these additional icons on the screen and get to see where basically you can sell everything, because not all this stuff, not all these icons are actually visible in the vanilla game. Obviously we've got the global company mod installed, which has been updated just recently and has caused a few issues with a lot of the global company mods, which are now giving errors and are in need of updates from mod authors. For whatever reason, Global Company felt the need to do an update to their mod to support auto drive. And to be honest, I never have used auto drive, and probably never will use auto drive. I'm more familiar with course. Auto drive I put in the same category as a follow me. It's a nice mod, but not very actual, practical and useful. Whereas Courseplay, obviously you can actually use to actually do work and be productive. So again, I'm you know, updating a mod to support auto drive, which then breaks all the other global company mods, seems like a bit of a silly mistake. It's a bit of a stupid move. Perhaps auto drive would have been better off being updated to support global company. I don't know. That might have made more sense. Update one mod which doesn't affect anything else as opposed to update a base mod that affects every single mod that uses that. That was a bit crazy. But anyway, we've got vehicles. We've got a weight here at the back. I was looking for this. I don't know why it's not a John Deere weight when we've got two John Deere tractors. But it's a 6M, and we've got a 6M tractor which doesn't actually allow you to put a weight on the front. Unless that weight is intended for the 8R, then why is it not over here with the 8R? I do not know. Question? Also, I do find the choice of starting vehicles a little bit weird. The 6M, which isn't a particularly good tractor, and then the 8R. The 8R, which in its current configuration is only 290 horsepower, I believe we have a cultivator that requires 400 horsepower. Now, how do we pull that with our starting vehicles? Unless we strap the cultivator to the combine harvester and use that to cultivate fields. And the fact we've got a 4.9 metre plough, I tell you what, this is going to be painful. This is going to be painful doing this, ploughing this field. I don't think I've ever ploughed with 4.9 metre plough. I don't think I've ever used any plough smaller than that, smaller than about 8 metres in game. I'm using a very, very, very vanilla mod setup for this map. I've literally got the map downloaded, some of the global company stuff, all the John Deere tractors off the mod hub from custom modding and whoever, and that's about it. I'm not using guidance steering, I'm not using course play, I'm not using I'm not using disable camera collision, I'm not using hood hide, I'm not using crosshair hider, real clock mod, I'm not using that, I'm not using smart hood shade. There's loads of mods that I'm just, you know, this is about as minimal a mod folder as I have ever run for this game, apart from when the game first came out and there was no mods for it. So since the game released, I don't think I've ever played with less mods than what I've got installed at this moment. And I tell you what, I really wish I'd installed some plough mods. I might have a look on the mod hub, because I'll be honest, I don't genuinely look on the mod hub these days for mods, because there aren't that many good ones being released on the mod hub. Most of the good mods are released just on the internet in general, and you have to kind of look for them. But I ought to have a look on the mod hub and see if anyone's actually bothered to make a good plough yet for the mod hub, because one of my biggest complaints about the mod hub was how many freaking stupid like 3 metre ploughs and cultivators there were on there, and how nobody seemed to make any like proper beefy sized ones. So I'll have to have a look before that I record my next live stream this map. I will have a look on the mod hub and see if there are any whatchamacallits, bigger ploughs than what the game offers by default. I'm not going to install a whole load of mods though. That is something I'm not going to do. I mean, I've added a couple of trucks, you know, a couple of Scania trucks that I've been using on the multiplayer map because I think they look nice and they're a little bit different to use than the you know, the Lizard, the Roadrunner, the Hulk, etc. that you get in the vanilla game. There's obviously a couple of other little bits and pieces that I'm going to use. Yeah, we're not running a lot of mods, so for this first episode I'm going to be using what the game offers me, pretty much vanilla, and we're going to be using the tools and implements that pretty much, you know, the map offers us, as well, apart from the ones that I've sold off, or will sell off, you know. I'm going to take my shoes off as well, because I don't need my shoes anymore. See, this is the kind of thing I would talk about in a live stream. So we're almost getting the live stream experience, but not really. As I say, it was a shame that no one bothered to tell me my microphone wasn't working when I streamed earlier, because it would have made this whole process a lot easier. Because now, as I say, I've got to record 4 hours of commentary in Vegas. I've then got to render. Well, I'm going to actually render 4 separate videos in Vegas. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to split the stream up into 4-hour-long chunks and upload the separate videos. I'm going to upload them and I'm going to schedule them to go live all at the same time so everybody can watch all the videos one after another. Hopefully in future I'll do a quick check before I start streaming that the microphone is working properly, and then I'll live stream, and then hopefully as soon as I finish live streaming and I hit the stream over button, I can just go ahead and export the video to YouTube once Twitch has finished processing and encoding it. This plough is slow as well, and that could be, as I say, a combination of the tractor not being up to the snuff. Because again, I never realised, again, probably because I don't play that much with vanilla equipment, but I never realised that the 8R is only 290 horsepower in its base configuration. You have to change the engine configuration to the 8400 to get 300, was it 300? 450, isn't it? 450 horsepower? 450? I will, at some point in this video, have a look at that. I'm sure it's 450. So the horsepower range on the 8R is 290 to 450. Because, spoiler warning, I sell off the 6M very quickly and replace it with a 6R instead. And the 6R I buy with a 350 horsepower engine. So my 6M, which is a medium tractor, is actually more powerful than my 8R. So all this time I spend ploughing using this machine, and later on when I have a worker using this plough with this machine, I would have been better off having the 6R pulling the plough, because it actually has more power, which means more torque than the 8R in its current configuration. I would have been better off taking this 8R back to the store and either upgrading it or selling it off and replacing it with a custom modding 8R or something like that, which has a slightly beefier engine that can at least get up to 500 horses. I think 500 horses is the sweet spot for tractors, for large tractors, because then you can use most of the cultivators and you can use most of the ploughs. But obviously, until I sort of get used to playing on this map and seeing how big these fields are and everything like that, I don't know what sort of tractors we're going to use. This could be a perfect map for big buds, if the because the fields probably support it. Especially some of the bigger ones could definitely use some big bud pulling power. But it's again, it's a case of whether or not I want to use tractors and stuff that I use pretty much all the time, you know. They're off, obviously obviously in Fenton Forest I'm currently using fence again, so I wouldn't want to use fence on this map. I know people say, well, you're using John Deere's on the multiplayer map. True, but then again, John Deere's tend to be more suited to American maps anyway. American people are generally more familiar with seeing John Deere machines on their maps. In fact, actually, if you are playing a farm sim map that's American based and you're using vehicles other than John Deere, people tend to get quite upset in the comments. You don't like it if you're playing an American map and not using John Deere tractors and equipment. Hey, that's the farm sim community. It's very weird. And they get butthurt over the smallest and simplest of things. But anyway, we are ploughing. It's day one of spring, which means get this field ploughed. We've got 2 other fields need to be prepped. They are currently cultivated, so they need to just be seeded, really, I think. So they'll be seeded. We'll obviously work out what crop we're going to plant on those 3 fields. The rest of our fields are actually all grass. So we've got a lot of grass to mow around our starting field. So there's going to be lots of opportunity to do silage and stuff in the first year, which could be very good for us making money in the first year. Doing silage bales and stuff, selling them at the BGA. That's one possibility of things to do and look at. Obviously, I'm going to burn through my starting cash very, very quickly. Obviously, there's some quite big subsoilers. I could have used a subsoiler as opposed to a plough. Would have achieved the same result, wouldn't it? And I could have had a slightly wider working width. The problem is, I probably couldn't have pulled a subsoiler with my current 2 tractors because of the horsepower's requirements on the 8-metre culti plough and that 6-metre. I don't think I've ever used that 6-metre one that puts fertiliser down at the same time. I probably should use one of them once just to see, because obviously my normal strategy when I play farm sim is after harvesting, I plough the field. Well, no, after I've harvested, I lime and fertilise, I then plough, I then fertilise again, I then cultivate, and then I seed. And that achieves full fertilisation status. So once the seed is in the ground, I never have to touch the field again. I don't have to spray crops while they're growing. So I don't have to worry about having skinny tyres on tractors and sprayers with skinny wheels or spreaders with skinny wheels, because we don't fertilise crops while they're growing. All the fertilising is done before the seed goes in the ground. That's how I normally play. That's my preference. So if I could have a plough that fertilises at the same time, that would actually speed things up with me, because then after a harvest I would just need to lime, plough with the fertiliser, then I could fertilise, cultivate and seed. It would remove one step for me, which would speed things up for me. I would be able to get fields turned around that a little bit quicker, because it would cut out a process on each field, because I'd be doing 2 processes at the same time, fertilising and ploughing. Okay, that's something to look at. Right now I don't have the money to go buying luxury expensive machines, but that's not to say if we get some good money coming in quickly, we can't upgrade machines and purchase some new toys fairly rapidly going. I don't have any sort of goals in mind of reaching specific money values on this map. Normally when I start a series, it's like I need to reach X amount of money and then we're done. I don't have that kind of plan or goal in mind for this particular map. I just kind of want to play. So let's see anyway. See where it takes us on this particular save, I think, is the plan. And the first thing we've got to do is get this field ploughed. So we'll do a bit of a headland around the outside, and then look at maybe handing it over to a worker. Obviously just an ordinary AI worker. There's no course play installed, so we'll see if the ordinary in-game workers are capable of handling these fields. I would kind of doubt it, but hey, you know, we're going to give them a chance to prove themselves. But I expect them to fail spectacularly. And we'll get this rolling then. The fields are quite close on this map. I'm not going to lie, the fields are quite close. And we're also going to need to lime spread this field then once we've ploughed it. It's a bit strange that fields 32 and 29 are cultivated, but they've not been ploughed. Not a big fan of that. You would think if the field was cultivated, it would have already had the ploughed status and everything done to it. I might need to manually fiddle with that, because I don't plan on ploughing every field. So we'll use the easy development commands and we'll fix fields 32 and 29. We'll make sure they are ploughed. We'll leave them still cultivated, but we'll make sure they have their ploughed status turned on, and we'll make sure they have been limed as well. Do that one as well. Right, job done. Now we're going to the map. They do not need to be ploughed. They do not need to be limed. Good. Because I'm playing with 3-day seasons, I don't want to spend, you know, it's going to be tricky enough in this, you know, first year to get everything seeded by the end of spring, by the end of day 3, without having to plough and lime and everything every single field. We don't have enough equipment for a start to be able to do multiple fields at the same time. It's bad enough we've got this flipping plough that's only 4 metres wide. But I can fix that. We can fix the plough issue later on. However, these fields are also, one of the things I did notice as well, these fields are quite close together. That could make it a little bit interesting and a little bit challenging to work them without vehicles driving onto different fields. Especially, again, the vanilla AI workers, they will probably drive all over fields that they shouldn't drive on. And what baffles me as well, we own field 34 here on the map, which is a grass field, and that needs to be ploughed as well. As does field 41. I'm not going to plough up a perfectly good grass field. I'm sorry. I'm looking for something. Looking for something. We haven't got a, what do you call it, have we? We haven't got a fertiliser spreader. Not a yeah, spreader. We've got a sprayer. We haven't got a spreader. We've got no way of applying lime to the soil. So even after I've ploughed the field, we can't do any lime spreading. Sell off the sprayer because I'm going to get a different sprayer anyway. I said I was going to get a different sprayer. Sold off the little loading wagon because the loading wagon is of no use, and the baler. I'm selling off the baler as well. I will get, and I'm going to sell off the weight. Right, that keeps our inventory a little bit better. I'm going to sell off the 6M as well, probably. I think little tractor. Baling tech. Oh, look, spray paints. That's part of the global company mod that came out in the middle of the week. That allows you to spray trees and mark trees for, you know, the people who get all into logging and stuff like that. Right, we're going to have no modded balers. Okay. Could have the big Heston baler. However, that's not good because we can't wrap Heston bales to make silage. So we're going to need a standard baler, and I actually just sold the New Holland one. Don't want a round baler. Don't want a round. I definitely want a square one. Because then it will just pump out square bales one after another. Whereas the round baler, you have to keep stopping to unload it, and you have to keep stopping to wrap and then unload the bale. And whereas with the square baler, you can just keep going and it will just keep dropping all the bales out the back. But I will probably end up replacing this baler as well, because I would like one that matches my tractors a little bit better. We can get the Terrogator. It's not bad for a lime and fertilizer spreader. I do like the Terrogator mod. We've been using that quite extensively over on the multiplayer, the County Line server. And I've been using it on the Fenton Forest Let's Play that I do as well. I think I mess up here. I think this is a mistake. Buying it with extended wheels is a mistake. I don't think you can actually hook up to a fertilizer spreader with the extended wheel setup. I think the extended wheel setup is only if you're using the Terrogator as a trailer tipper. There's a good chance I can't connect to that spreader that I've just bought. Let's have the... Do we go for the Hardy or the Kun? Hardy's got a bigger tank, which I think would be better, more beneficial. Yeah, we'll go for the Hardy. Same working width as the Kun, just has a slightly bigger tank. Right. Yeah, we'll buy a Hardy. And we'll make it match our lovely tractors, which are at the moment 2 John Deeres. Now I think where it's got capacity as a selectable option, that is how you determine whether it unloads to pallets or whether it unloads as a liquid, so you can tip it back into silos and stuff. I'm going to have it as the tip it into silos configuration. I really hate it when fertilizers, spreaders and stuff unload into pallets, and seeders, when you're unloading seeders and anything like that, it puts stuff into pallets. It's like, oh, that's really annoying, because then you've got to take the stuff out of the pallets in another trailer or tanker to be able to put it back into a silo. Like an extra step you have to do to put the stuff back in the back into storage, whereas at least those sprayers should be able to tip. But here we go. Let's see if I've broken this. Like I have. Yeah, no good. Gonna have to reconfigure that. Put the standard wheels on it. And it's weird as well, because as I sit here writing this, recording this commentary now in post, the game audio has gone out of sync. Game audio is now very out of sync with the rest of the video. There we go, there's one lime spreader. Oh, it's interesting. It's changed the name of the signs. Oxygen View. I'm guessing the audio has either gone out of sync on the stream, if it's dropped any frames or anything like that, or it's gone out of sync because I've downloaded the stream from Twitch, and maybe their encoding process has put it out of sync. We can fill this up with lime, and then we can take it down to the field, and we can get some, when the plough's actually done its job, we can get the field ploughed. Now, is this free, or no, it's costing me money. Oh, this is going to cost me a lot of money to fill this thing. Lime is not cheap. This is going to cost me big bucks. Big bucks. And there goes all our dosh. What little bit I've got left. I'll see if there's probably a way I can make some money though. There's probably a way I can make a good decent bit of money fairly early on. And that's probably going to be taking advantage of all the grass fields we've got around the place. If I can do some like silage bales fairly early on, get them sold at the BGA, we could make, you know, some decent money early on in the year before we even do the harvest of our free fields. Turn the light off. Don't really need the light on, do we? This point in time. Drive around the field, because at the moment, obviously the plough hasn't actually achieved much. That was a nice bit of parking. Like a glove, as Ace Ventura would say. We'll leave that there for the moment, because obviously we need the plough to get a little bit further ahead of the field and get a bit more of the field done than it's currently doing. Having a look at keybinds. Got loads of duplicated auto loader stuff again. Player speed, that's what I'm looking for. Player speed. However, it's not exactly all that much faster than the sprinting that I'm doing now. I don't really need the player speed mod thing because it doesn't actually offer you that much of an advantage to running than what you get by playing in like admin mode. think we should have a 6M rather than a 6R, should I say, instead of a 6M. Maybe fit it with narrows so it can do some good field work for us. Some rear jewels. That looks like a good setup. Makes it a little bit more stable then as well. That kind of setup dealy. Give it the 6X engine config, which gives us 350 ponies under the hood. Do I want to put a front loader on it? Not really, seeing as it's actually, the front loader seems to be a different colour to the rest of the machine. Might just be the store lighting doing that, but it's quite expensive though to buy. We can't afford that. We could, however, lease it. That's a different way of doing things. We lease it. The little voucher. That's one seriously quick tractor, that is. Maybe use that for doing delivery runs at some point. Right, one John Deere 6M. Let's we won't worry about the baler just yet. We don't need that just yet. We can leave that there. There's the sound again. Let's see if I can actually sync that up. Well, the looks of it though, I'm going to have to move the audio quite a bit to do that. I can't believe the audio is that badly out of sync though. It might not be possible for me to do this video and record these videos, because if the audio is that badly out of sync now, it's only going to get worse as we go through the next 3 parts of this video, because this was a 4-hour live stream. Oh, that fella hit me. My wheels are just a little bit too wide. The road. I don't know if it's possible to put the audio out. Like I've got any track doodah dealies, any effects. I'm gonna have to manually try and figure out how long the delay is, how much I need to shift the video. got to see if we can actually fill this up with liquid fertiliser anyway. Now we've got it back at the farm. That I do believe is just diesel refill, and that is water refill. Don't think we've got any placeable refill points on the old farmy dealie. Park this over here anyway, and when we need to use it, we'll figure out how we fill it up. I'm a little bit surprised that you don't get a tank of fertiliser with it, you know. Maybe the store could have just thrown in some fertiliser for me. Buying such a big purchase like that. Anyway, we'll go grab the baler from over at the store, bring that back to the farm. We drive back to the store, watching out for the traffic. Yes, the rear wheels are a little bit too wide for the pavement. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit awkward. Getting this thing to match up. So we'll grab the baler, which isn't, as I say, much use on its own, however, because we don't yet have a mower. However, I will lease the mower. When I need to mow the grass, I will lease the mower. I'm not going to spend, you know, nearly 500 grand on a mower outright. I will lease it, mow a couple of fields very quickly and return it. That's probably the best way of doing it. The good thing about this map is that because the grass fields are actually fields, a worker will be able to operate the chrome mowers. So you could actually set a worker running, and you can whiz up and down quite quickly, harvest your field, mow the grass, and then if you can, again with the way seasons works, if you buy a vehicle and return it within a certain period of time, you get the full value back. So you could game the system a bit by buying the mower, quickly mowing your fields and then returning it for the full refund. There is that way of doing it, I suppose. But we wait and see. Most important thing is get it back to the farm, get it parked up. Thank you, Mr. Ice Cream Van. Yes, it's nice to know you're here. No one wants us making ice cream. Now shut up and go away. Right. Get the mower, get the baler parked in the shed, and then let's go and see how much progress the worker has made with that plough. I'm hoping he's got most of the field done by now, so I can then get the lime done. think the baler lived down here, didn't it? Next to the barn sales. Barn sales place. I'm just gonna park the tractor back for a minute. Right, how's the plough getting on? He's still only here? Oh my lord! Taking all day to do one field. You're gonna reverse a bit, aren't you? Where are we? Down here somewhere. Oh, he's missed some little bits as well. But crikey, that's a lot of field to harvest still. Got a decent seeder though. Decent seeder. 9-metre seeder, that's not bad. It's better than the plough. At least the seeder's quick. We should be able to get our fields seeded if we can get them ploughed in time. You know. We definitely want a wopster. We've got to buy a wopster. We need to buy a wopster. We need a wopster to measure our fields. Let's have a run over to field 32, is it? And see what's planted on it. What, so we've got to start thinking crop rotations and all that sort of stuff with seasons. So let's go and have a look, see what was planted on it previously and what should be planted on it next. Apparently nothing was planted on it, so free reign. Rain. My own crops down and work out what the ideal rotation will be down the road. Field 34 is this little one here. Get some seed slapped down on this. Looking at the outside of it, there's nothing going to potentially get in my way, is there? Maybe the water. Don't want to have to do too much terrain adjusting on this map if I can help it. And ploughing new edges on fields. I would rather leave the fields as they are and then just try and work smarter on them.